Brothers and sisters, Jumbo, walk with me through the jungles of the sixth region of the diaspora. Synopsis about kind of what their goal is, what their benchmark is, and what their goal is in this sixth region or whatever. And if you think about it, it's like a foreign exchange where they have foreign students, let's just say from Switzerland, will come over here and get the American experience, what it's like to go to school, what it's like to party with the young kids, what are they eating over here, how are they dancing, just get all of that, aspects of an American. And then you have so an American student who would do the same thing. They would go to Switzerland and, learn about the culture, the foods, the dance, what they do when they have a good time or whatever like that. So basically, they want you to go over to Africa, teach them how to be black, and they're going to teach you how to be African in turn, right? And so they use. I know you see the celebrities. You've seen Spike Lee. You've seen Ciara. You've seen Ludacris, um, Stevie Wonder, and Steve Harvey spearheaded it because he was talking about. He was very enthusiastic and very happy about. This leadership that black people were going to take part in Africa. And he was like, I'm telling y'all don't know, it's black people getting together. We're going to be leaders. We're going to have power, and he was, talking like that or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And here it is today. And this is the Pan-Africanist dream. I don't want to ever in my life hear from another Pan-Africanist after this, these smart cities go up. I never want to hear from them again. I want all the Pan-Africanists to go here. And this video, mind you, is not to be disparaging or disrespectful to anybody, because I truly don't want to take part in it, but I'm just saying what it is. I jumped out the window and I contacted a senator, and I wish I didn't contact that senator because he's on a whole different vibe or whatever. He's really not into like what like Negroes are into or whatever. So like I just made a mistake about contacting him, but nonetheless, I was, nervous because I was like, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to just put us in something? They saying we can't vote. They're just going to, give us an African status. Like, what's going on? How can they, why is the government just allowing them to do this? Well, you have to do this yourself. Okay. None of this stuff is mandatory, and if you don't want to be involved in it, you don't have to be involved in it. The thing I would keep an eye on is reparations, and I will say that they removed reparations, and this is just a matter of a day or two. They just removed the reparations tab. So whatever they're planning on reparations, I guess they know that people are looking, FBAs, ADOs, everybody's looking, so they removed that strip. You won't find that in the sixth region anymore about reparations. You'll just see patriation. Okay, so just heads up on that, but keep your eyes open. But yeah, so this is just a little synopsis. They're talking about 323 million people. They're saying in the United States of America, they're saying us, that we are these Africans. Then you have Indonesia and Brazil, and these are the amount of people they're saying are African there. And they gave you a little history. I don't really want to spend too much time into this, other than this sentence right here, which pissed me off. It says the African diaspora is derived from two main waves of migration. The first is related to deportation of Africans in the context of the slave trade. Why would you use the word deportation of slaves? Why would you say they were deported? Why won't they just acknowledge the fact that they were sold? We know that the Atlantic slave trade consists of kings selling people. So say you sold people, acknowledge that. Stop lying. That pisses me off. You can come back and read the rest or whatever. And they were just telling you, what countries or whatever that, the quote unquote, this our ancestors came from. So right here, political. Okay, the political diaspora includes people like former U.S. President Barack Obama, Michelle Jean, um, Christina Tayurbria. I don't. Excuse me if I'm saying her name right. And many others who have powerful positions, but these figures are disconnected from each other and have a few direct and have few direct connections to Africa. So they putting out a cat call to Obama and others as I get down to the bottom of here to kind of come. And some of them are already involved. I mentioned Steve Harvey, Spike Lee, and all of those people, and they're going to be used to influence other powerful people. As you see Ciara Moore and Ludacris, you're going to see more and more of them. You're going to see clips of them doing things there in Africa, or whatever, and looking as though they are in positions of power and whatever. And that's to influence other celebrities and other wealthy black people to come out there, right? And it's not to say that they won't ever be or ever have some type of power, but this is how they try to get people over there right now by using these celebrities and stuff, and you as well. But they need to get more. They know that they have to get the big head honchos over there and really, show a good life and put on the good show for you to really buy into it, right? And so, said political already, economics. They're talking about how much money comes from the continent of Africa, but they get zero on return. They don't really get enough for development, but they do get billions of dollars, and their government pockets most of it, and they don't look out for the people, and they don't invest in the infrastructure and stuff like they should, and so other people come in and do it for them. But this is, that's their version. They don't get enough or whatever. They're mismanaging. They don't know what they really have and know how to issue it, sell it, so yeah, whatever. Cultural, the African diaspora has imposed itself, whether in the field of music, gospel. Okay, once again, taking credit for things that American Negroes did, and not even having the full data on who has African ancestry or not. But, taking credit. And in sports too, you see all these people or whatever that they mention, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Simone Biles, um, the Williams sisters, and, so on and so forth or whatever. But it's a cat call because they want all these people, if they're not involved, they do want them to take part in this because they want to sell it to you, right? They really want to sell it to us, but they really feel like they can use celebrity because that's what they were doing over here in America. But if they were paying attention, they would have realized that we pulled away from that. And we're doing our own thing now. And we look at celebrities for what celebrities do. We love them and respect, some of them anyways, for what they do and what they present to us. And we're cutting, we shut the light off there. After that, as far as whoever they're pushing politically or whatever, that's their business. We're not taking that in. We're looking at our own pocketbooks. We're looking at our own families, and we're making our voting choices based on that, not based on what a celebrity says. So we moved away from that. So that's not really going to work. But they are going to try to sell it in that way. And they also want you to go there to, ride with these people. They want you to teach these people everything that you are. They want you to teach them how to protest, how to, they have a lot of feminism and FGM and sexism and whatever they got going on over there. A lot of stuff. They have civil war outbreaks because they don't like each other. So they want us to go over there and teach them. Like, we're not at war with each other. We do, get into battles, but mostly that's street related. The majority of the murders that go on in our community are street related, criminal. It has criminality connected to that because the average black person is just not going around just killing people. Okay, so that's what people fail to mention, that is the criminal aspect that is amongst our community that gets into these things or whatever like that. But they want us to go over there and help them disperse all of the negativity and the things that are going on over there, and to teach them how to go up against their government and stuff like that. They want you to fight. Teach them how to fight. Teach them how to be us, and in exchange, they'll teach you how to be them. Okay? So that's the cultural exchange that they hope to get from these smart cities that you will be living in. You won't see any celebrities living in there because, of course, they have, more money than the people who will be living in the smart cities. But, it's not going to be like what you think, like this. Everybody's going to be like, hey, such and such, she just down the road. It's not going to be like that. It's definitely going to be a higher, I hate when I can't say these things, a heresy. I'll say heresy. So I can't say hierarchy. Heresy. It's definitely going to be that, a pecking order, and these people will be, they're trying to say that you're going to have this co-partnership in it. I don't know how sure or how true that is, but I'm going to get into that. I'm going to take you through the law, the citizenship, and I'm going to take you through my concerns, and that's going to be that because I don't want to drag it out too long. This is going to lead us into the citizenship. I don't want to lose my spot. Okay, so here we go. This is the actual document. So you can come back, you can download the PDF for yourself and go over it. Code on nationality and citizenship. This is the legislative intent. So I'm not going through all of that. I just wanted to get down to these two paragraphs. Right here. As they say a lot. Indeed, it is a new nationality and citizenship that is being invented here, linked to a state without borders, which in fact revolutionizes the old categories of national and international law. And that concerns me because I like national and international law because, it teaches people how to act and how to treat you as you move about, okay? And rules of engagement and things like that. But okay, inherited from the 19th century. They wanted you to know that they feel like it's outdated. The common idea that a state is a nation and a territory is challenged by the very fact that the African Union recognized in 2003 that the diaspora is the sixth region of Africa. Okay, so they're trying to say that, okay, because the union was recognized in 2003 that the diaspora is the sixth region, that challenges um, nation and territory, which is, I think a lawyer will easily destroy that, a really good one anyway. But this means that one can define a region without a territory, and consequently, that one can do the same for a state. In this case, the state of the African diaspora, which is effectively a state without borders. Which you can have a state without borders, but there still has to be laws in there, and that's when it gets tricky because things can happen to people and and enter at your own risk. Therefore, like any state, the state of African diaspora must define the nationality and citizenship of its members, their rights and duties, the conditions of access, as well as the practical modalities related to the identity card. And that's what I'm going to get into next. This is the code of nationality and citizenship of the state of the African diaspora. But we can see, given the history of African citizenship, which has only been briefly sketched above, the reflection that unfolds here goes beyond the legal or political. It necessarily has a spiritual dimension, insofar as it constitutes a tribute to our dear departed, to render justice to their stolen lives, to the loss of citizenship. And in this sense, this bill constitutes a manifest form of reparation, or at very least of self reparation. Lord have mercy. So yeah, okay. Self reparation. Yeah, okay. It's a form of it you're gonna get with this ID card. And these are just like the principles here. Their citizenship. Uh some here was funny, I forgot. Guaranteed citizenship or whatever. It's telling you here too that okay, you don't have the right to vote. Right, here it goes right here. It says, by virtue of their nationality, nationals of the state of the African diaspora are citizens who have access to the right to vote for the members of parliament of the state of the African diaspora, and through them, the prime minister. Okay? So you'll have your own, there'll be a government over the diaspora. Now, who these people are going to be, and are these going to be the celebrities over the the government? I don't know who is going to be, who is going to be, the parliament over the diaspora. But whoever those people are, you'll vote for somebody, and through that person you pick as the leader of the parliament for the diaspora, they will have the right to vote for the prime minister. So all of us equal that one vote. The modalities of this right are expressed in general terms in the Constitution, and in more detail in the state's electoral codes. Yeah, okay. But yeah, you could come back and read this or whatever. I just wanted to talk about that and the identity card. We could just go over to that. So I'm gonna just clip this right. Yeah. So here we go. We are looking at the African diaspora ID card. And this happens to be a multi-card gold. Look at that. Says to be a citizen of the state of Africa diaspora, a popular sovereignty, a national digital identity card will be issued. The EID card will serve as a multi card, affording our citizens many benefits, such as financial benefits and rewards. What fun? No, discounts at the USOAD, university, etc. In addition, many members of the diaspora aspire to return to Africa, but some, especially those whose ancestors were deported and enslaved, have no connection with any particular country. Their homeland is Africa, in the words of Marcus Garvey. Repatriation is repair. To foreigners who want to go to Africa, you can apply for a visa. But the sons and daughters of the continent who were deported are not strangers. This is why we are creating the identity card. Only citizens of SOAD will be able to vote, participate, and receive the benefits of being a citizen of a state without borders of the sixth region of Africa. Damn it. Get your ID card. Now I think the thing is down here. Oh no, but you can go to the website and you could go ahead on. The Pan Africans better, I know they're better. Every Pan African have filled out this digital form by now. I don't want to hear a damn thing. I know you better have filled this out because I want you to go, go, go. Good Lord, I want you to go. I want all the Negroes that hate America. America ain't never did shit for you. Baby, here is your chance. But I will tell you this, leadership is subject to change. Okay? So the same way, in America, President Trump is here and he's not playing. I love it. I'm glad that he's here. I voted for him all 3 times, goddamn it. He's doing an excellent job. Okay? Very happy about that. But yeah, leadership is subject to change. So, just be wary. Just be wary. Mind your pocketbooks. But if you want to participate, that's on you. Okay? But this is the ID card. You will get perks. Evidently they copied off of New York. So I know somebody is involved in this heavily, heavily handed from New York because only they would think of some digital fun pass. Because that's what it is too. And you can take our card too, right? Because like they're saying like, oh, you're not from here. So you really don't know. Which parts of Africa your ancestors will be from. So they're like, yeah, man, you could use this like a fun pass, and just all the peoples in this program, all the countries that are participating in this program, you can go from this country to that country to that. Like, oh, I don't like it here. I don't like the people. I'm gonna go to this smart city over here and see, how what they doing over here. Then I could go over to this one and seeing, what they doing over here, like that or whatever. So I mean, it could be a good thing for those who love Africa, always wanted to be in Africa, want to go over there and fight with the Africans. This is for you. This is the Pan African package, courtesy of the African Diaspora 6 region. Okay. So yep. I just want to go over my fears or what I like to warn people about before you go jumping into people who have had a reputation of seedy behavior. Okay? One thing for me, if you're gonna uproot your life, especially going to a place that's unsecure like Africa, because they have several civil wars and they have their own little disputes and things going on. If you are going to uproot yourself, the one thing that they didn't mention was security. And how will people be safe there? And if you're going to take your families there, that's something you should damn well know, is how your children and how you will be protected as you go throughout your days in your smart cities. Okay? I'm not African. My father has universal blood. He passed it down to me. Can't find any Africans on my mom's side. That's that. You know? It is what it is. I'm a chocolate person. I'm what you call Reese's peanut butter cup color. My father was dark Hershey and my mother is peanut butter brown. Okay? So you mix that peanut butter with some dark Hershey's, you get Reese's pieces. That has nothing to do with Africa. That just has to do with genetics and people duplicating a skin tone or replicating, as Cynthia would say. Okay, so moving right along to this Nigerian scam artist here, and you have to watch your pocketbook when you're going to these places, mind you. Says a former Nigerian government official was sentenced Monday to 5 years in prison. Please disregard the I think which one is that? That must be the EMS. It's either the EMS, the NYPD, or the fire department. And it's probably in every video that I upload. But moving right along, he stole $500,000 in pandemic relief benefits in the United States. Abami Rufai was wearing a $10,000 watch and a $35,000 gold chain when he was arrested at JFK International Airport in New York on his way to Nigeria, May 2021. Rufai pled guilty in the United States District Court in Tacoma, Washington in May to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft charges, and Judge Benjamin issued a sentence Monday. The judge also ordered Rufai to pay more than $600,000 in restitution, and I'm going to ignore you. Prosecutors said that 45-year-old had a history of defrauding the U.S. government, including U.S. stolen identities, to file for emergency relief after hurricanes in Texas and Florida. Do you guys remember how terrible that was? When disaster struck, so did Mr. Rufai, Seattle U.S. Attorney Nick Brown said in news release. Whether it was a hurricane, disaster relief, small business loans, or COVID unemployment benefits, he stole aid that should have gone to disaster victims in the United States. What a scumbag. Ugh. Such fraud was rampant in pandemic relief programs, according to the U.S. Labor Department Inspector General, who said last week that $45.6 billion may have been paid out improperly in unemployment insurance from March 2020 to April 2020. The Justice Department filed charges against dozens of people in Minnesota last week. I remember this one. Last week in connection with a $250 million fraud scheme that exploited a federally funded child nutrition program during the pandemic. That's Ilian Omar, people. Ilian with the Dillion. Rufai of Liki, shut up, Nigeria, has a master's degree and is politically connected in his home country. They better check that degree. Prosecutors said he had purported to run a sports betting company since 2016. His finances were opaque, and his main source of income apparently was defrauding the U.S. government. He was broke. His finances were broke. Okay, he was known as a prolific political fundraiser, and in 2019 he ran unsuccessfully for Nigeria's National Assembly assistant U.S. attorneys. Okay, assembly. Assistant U.S. Attorney Cindy Chang and Seth Wilkerson wrote in a sentencing memo. Between April and October 2020, he used a cache of stolen identities. Investigators found more than 20,000 of them with birth dates and social security numbers in one of his email accounts to file for pandemic related benefits. He applied with the workforce agencies of at least 9 states, including Washington's Employment Security Department, in the names of at least 224 Americans. He had your socials. Who knows who else have them? Just after returning to Nigeria in 2020, Rufai was appointed as a special aide to the governor of Nigeria's Ogun state. He was featured in news magazines, photographed with a luxury Mercedes sport utility vehicle he had purchased with stolen funds and had shipped to Nigeria. A. Rufai later returned to the U.S. and on May 15, 2021, stop distracting me, just a day after prosecutors filed an amended complaint against him, he was arrested trying to leave the country on a business class flight. Good, good, good. In recorded phone conversations from jail, he discussed moving a large amount of money immediately following his arrest, prosecutors said. Oh my God, they never learn about that phone, man. Rufai apologized in a letter to the court, saying my actions and outrageous and inexcusable. What? Okay, let me stop. Let me just read it. Just read it. My actions are outrageous and inexcusable. He blamed them on a gambling addiction and pressure to provide for his wife and children. You had to steal people's identities, steal millions and millions of dollars to take care of your wife and children. Mm. Your Honor, Your Honor, I am now a rehabilitated man that is ready to live a crime free life and also be a responsible man to my family and my community as a whole, he wrote. The defense requested a 2.5-year sentence, citing letters from supporters who wrote that Rufai had a charitable foundation that helped pay educational fees for primary students. But look at him. Isn't he a good... Look at that. Come on now. He's Robin Hood. The Justice Department sought nearly 6 years, saying a longer term was necessary, in part to deter others who might commit similar crimes. So, guys, I went over this article just to show you how trifling some of these people are, and this is what you're going to be dealing with in your smart cities. So, guard your socials, hide your kids, hide your wives, because they stealing everything out here. They're even stealing your dreams. So, when you go to bed tonight, if you're a dreamer, put an aluminum cap on. Okay? Those people were way before their time. The aluminum wrap, your head people. Oh my God. I miss them. I miss them. We could use them today, especially with all this 5G going on. But yeah, this is just, something to think about. Go back and look over the article again, and just, go over the video and just like think about the things that I've said in this video. We already know that they're plotting against to try to get involvement in American reparations, especially Ghana. That president already came. He made a statement saying, "Hey, you paid the white slave owners. Why not us?" So just be leery. Just move with caution. if you're going to participate in this. And it's not a mandatory thing. If you don't want to participate, we just don't have to. Just our not filling out anything is enough to for us to, we don't have to worry about delineating from this. This is something you have to definitely sign up for. So, I just wanted to bring a little bit of knowledge on this issue, you know. And I want to see what people are going to do to build on this. And, what do you think about this, the fact that they don't have the security set up? What do you think about these smart cities? Are you going to participate? Are you going to, what role or position would you like to play? Would you like to be a leader in a part of the government? Um, let us know. Build on this, expound on this, and definitely shove it in the face of every Pan Africanist. Soon as they start talking, be like, hey, 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 smart city, smart city. That's where you're going. I'm the man eater, 38.